Hey, T.O., I'm gonna bust up your eyes, I'm gonna whip your ass, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You better be ready, boy.
All that more pressure stuff don't mean nothing. As long as I'm like locked in and I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not gonna correct them overnight. It's gonna be the same T.O. that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's gonna come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Before this fight go down in a couple of weeks, Shakur Stevenson already gave us a damn classic banger. Yep, he gave us a classic banger. I don't give a damn what anybody say. That last fight, yeah, that last fight actually it was harder than this fight that he gonna be having with Teofimo Lopez. Oh, let me say it one more time. Yeah, Zapata is a tougher fight than Teofimo Lopez. Yep, you heard it right here. You heard, and you gonna see. You gonna see on the 31st.
Fight night is almost here, and Shakur Stevenson has drawn his battle lines. He's not stepping into that ring just to compete against Teofimo Lopez. He's going in there to systematically dismantle every flaw he's identified. Training camp is in full swing, and the message coming out is crystal clear. Shakur wants to finish Teofimo Lopez. Every combination thrown and every round sparred serves as his response to the critics and doubters questioning his approach. His entire team believes in what they're building. While Teofimo keeps labeling Shakur as sluggish, the intensity radiating from Stevenson's preparation suggests something completely different is brewing. Shakur Stevenson has found his zone, and he's ready to demonstrate exactly why he sits at the top.
One of the best things we have going for us when a person underestimates you, that's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
The greatest thing we got working for is this mother thinks we slow.
Yeah, he think he's slow. Like, really, bro?
Well, that's advantage for us.
Oh yeah, that's a. I'm just like, I'm really gapped that he thinks that way.
Shakur Stevenson keeps bringing up something nobody else at this level can match. 4 different weight classes where he's claimed world titles. When fighters try to put themselves in his category, his response cuts deep and carries real danger. You don't belong here. Looking at Teofimo Lopez specifically, Shakur claims he's identified multiple vulnerabilities. These are problems Teofimo should be addressing in camp, but apparently, he's ignoring them completely. Now Shakur plans to exploit every single one when they finally clash. The specific weaknesses remain under wraps, but the plan is to unveil them all during their ring encounter.
Nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not gonna correct them overnight. It's gonna be the same T.O. that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's gonna come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Tim Bradley completely destroys the narrative that Shakur Stevenson plans to spend the entire fight moving away from Teofimo Lopez. The former champion turned expert points to Shakur's track record, reminding everyone that this guy has been part of some seriously entertaining battles throughout his career. Bradley takes it even further by suggesting that the Williams rematch presented more challenges than what Teofimo brings to the table. He dismisses the running criticism as manufactured drama. His prediction goes beyond just a Stevenson victory. He believes Shakur will completely school Teofimo Lopez when January 31st.
I just want to remind y'all that where everybody's saying, oh, Shakur, he gonna run against Zapata with all that pressure and volume that Zapata brings to the ring. And everybody's saying, Shakur gonna run against Teofimo Lopez once he feel that power, this and that. Okay, just remember this. Shakur gonna do what Shakur gotta do to win the fight. That's it. Plain and simple. Shakur is going to be and do whatever he needs to do to win the fight. Exciting, boring, whatever the hell you want to say, it don't matter. He already gave you a damn banger. Yeah, he gave you a banger, a classic in his last fight. Yeah, so he got to be smart, he got to be in tune, he got to be sharp, and he going to beat and outbox and have...
The bad blood between Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Shakur Stevenson has reached a boiling point. And now there's a harsh reality check coming. When Tim Bradley looks ahead to fight night, he doesn't see things going the way the Lopez family expects. According to Bradley, Lopez Sr. will spend most of the fight screaming from the corner, demanding his son to engage and press forward. But all that coaching will end in crushing disappointment. Bradley's reasoning is straightforward. Shakur Stevenson is going to systematically break down Teofimo Lopez Jr. right in front of his father's eyes.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. in the corner saying all kind of ninjas. Get that ninja. Get that mother effing ninja. He gonna have him saying all kind of stuff inside the damn corner. Yeah,
The anticipation for this showdown has Shakur Stevenson's entire team operating at maximum intensity. Head trainer Wally Moses has developed what might be the perfect strategy to neutralize Teofimo Lopez. The approach couldn't be more direct. Completely tear him apart. Moses ensures his fighter absorbs every tactical detail, treating each instruction like it could determine the outcome. His belief runs deep that a more refined and continuously evolving Shakur will emerge on fight night, ready to execute their ruthless strategy exactly as they've rehearsed it.
It's the fight that I've been kind of waiting for my entire life. I didn't have to make this fight. This fight, I could have just stayed at 135 pounds. I made this fight happen because I know Teo is one of the guys at 140, but he got a big resume, big accomplishments. And I know there's going to be some doubt with people and fans when I go fight this guy. It's gonna be people that really believe that this guy's gonna beat me. I'm not on the level that I think I am and I say I am, so I made this fight for that reason. That was my competitive edge kind of kicked in when I wanted to make this fight.
Mainly work on your pace, you know what I'm saying? You need a fast pace, and I don't think you can keep up with it.
The tension surrounding this matchup keeps building, but now the focus turns to what Shakur Stevenson sees as his defining moment. This represents the collision that boxing fans have been anticipating, a legitimate star-making battle against Teofimo Lopez. For Stevenson, victory means more than adding another title or proving doubters wrong. This is about grabbing hold of a moment that feels destined for him. His entire journey has led to this specific fight on this specific night. The energy coming from his camp makes it clear that letting this opportunity slip away isn't even a consideration.
AO knows it's going to be a real fight. Shakur knows it's going to be a real fight. And I look at Shakur like a fighter who has a blank canvas. He's got the IQ, he got the experience, and the athleticism, and the skill set where he can paint any type of picture he wants to on a blank canvas. When I look at Teofimo Lopez, he's almost that. He has a blank canvas, but he needs an outline on what to draw and what to paint inside the line. Now, every now and again, he'll go away from the outline that he has and he'll do something dope and you'll be like, oh, that was cool. That wasn't on the outline right there. But I don't think that he can create on the fly like a Shakur Stevenson.
From a different perspective, experienced boxing minds view Teofimo Lopez as anything but an easy night's work. Antonio Tarver brings his analytical expertise to the conversation and sees Lopez as a fighter who reaches his peak when he stops trying to be something he's not. Tarver believes Teofimo's best path to victory involves embracing his natural instincts. Stay fast, remain fearless, keep opponents guessing, and take the kind of calculated risks that separate him from more conservative fighters.
I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, you know, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him. You know, being able to get inside. You know, a lot of times he fights free. You know, he don't really have a style. He does sometimes what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. You know what I mean? Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say.
Tarver zeroes in on Lopez's movement as potentially the key factor that decides everything. That footwork gives him the ability to dictate range and force exchanges on his terms. Teofimo doesn't fight like he learned everything from a manual. He reads situations as they develop and adjusts his approach based on what the moment demands. This adaptability makes him genuinely dangerous according to Tarver. He trusts his instincts completely and strikes when he sees openings, without second-guessing himself.
A live underdog, but if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably stop Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to hit him with something, and let's hope Shakur's hands hold up. I still believe if he's in a fisticuff, you know, and he has to slug it out, you know, those brutal hands going to have to hold up if he want to put a dent in Teofimo Lopez.
Paulie Malignaggi brings another expert voice into the mix and frames this as one of the toughest tests either fighter has encountered. His overall lean goes towards Stevenson, but Malignaggi strongly advises against writing off Lopez, particularly when the pressure reaches its peak and everyone expects him to fold. Malignaggi breaks down Teofimo's psychology, explaining that he tends to elevate his performance when circumstances look bleakest. When critics doubt his chances or predict his defeat, Lopez has historically responded with some of his most impressive work.
There's a replay there. You want to give Shakur the edge, and I do, but Teo is not something to play with, because when he's got his back to the wall, he becomes the most difficult guy to deal with, you know? And he's got his best performances when people count him out. And then when people feel like he's going to win easily, he's got his worst performances. So this is one of those times where Teo could make it really, really interesting. Shakur, for me, is a possible pound-for-pound #1 at one time. But if there's a guy who could be a threat to him, it is Teo, because Teo has that little bit of difference-making ability.
Is it a 60-40 fight? Is it still close?
I mean, it's probably 60-40, maybe even higher, but that's a live 30 and 40 by Teofimo, because, again, the way he shows up is very, very difficult and tricky.
Despite that warning, Malignaggi still favors Stevenson because of his reliable performance and mental composure. He sees Shakur's technical skills and steady temperament as advantages when fights turn chaotic or unpredictable. But he also acknowledges that Lopez possesses the right combination of tools to disrupt that controlled approach, which should make this fight much more competitive than casual observers might realize.
At first look, at first glance, I mean, this is Shakur Stevenson written all over, right? This is Shakur's coming out party. This is where Shakur lives up to the expectation. But there is a tricky element to this fight as well, because Teofimo Lopez always saves his best performances for the moment when you write him off, for the moment when you're ready to say, okay, he's gone too far, now he's going to lose. And his two career wins where he's been an underdog, I think most people were picking him to lose the Taylor fight. But more so than that, the Lomachenko fight, really most people were looking for him to lose that Lomachenko fight. And I think he's probably the only guy to have beaten Lomachenko legitimately, you know? So you know, Teofimo has a way of being at his most dangerous when he's got his back to the wall and people are counting him out.
Looking beyond just this single fight, Malignaggi positions this matchup as potentially transformative for boxing itself. Both men already carry pound-for-pound recognition, whether they're ranked in the top 10 or just outside those elite positions. His belief is that whoever emerges victorious could launch themselves toward the very pinnacle of the sport. He specifically highlights Stevenson as having the characteristics of a future pound-for-pound king.
Prime, and he's very, very good, and I think he's possibly, you know, the level of a fighter that could probably be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport if he would just have the right opponents in front of him to beat, because he would beat them. But this is the one guy where it's really, really tricky. It's the one guy that could really offset that is Teofimo, on the right night, of course. Shakur, I think, is a more consistent, better fighter. But Teofimo at his best sometimes looks almost unbeatable, you know? So that's the only thing that gives you some tricky feelings about it. You feel like Shakur is ready to do this, and this is the moment, but Teofimo tends to be that guy who's the most dangerous in these moments, so it's tricky.
January 31st is approaching fast, and there's a growing feeling that this bout will resolve arguments that have been brewing for months, or at minimum, elevate one fighter significantly closer to boxing's ultimate recognition. Expert opinions remain split down the middle, but the pressure continues mounting with each new prediction, and both fighters find themselves under an increasingly intense microscope.
Great matchup, tough fight. I want to see what Teofimo shows up, because sometimes it's Teofimo, the great fighter who beat Lomachenko, who beat Taylor. That's a tough Teofimo. But then we've also seen him, you know, in off nights.
Right.
And so that's kind of the only doubt, the only question that I have. You know, which Teofimo's going to show up.
Oscar De La Hoya enters the conversation with genuine appreciation for what both men bring to the table. He gives Lopez credit for his explosive power and natural athleticism, while recognizing just how challenging Stevenson has been for opponents to figure out. From his viewpoint, Shakur's approach has been virtually unsolvable throughout his professional run, with barely any fighters even getting close to cracking the code he presents.
Think about Shakur and Tio. What kind of fighter we have?
It's gonna be a great fight.
What's the most compelling part of the matchup for those two guys?
That's gonna be a great. You know what? Teo's a hell of a fighter. I love Teo, but I love Shakur. His style is almost impossible to break. But if there's a fighter who can break it, it's Teo. But it's gonna be a hell of a fight, because I love Shakur because he doesn't run. He's right there in front of you. So it's up to Teo to do something, but I think it's gonna be a great fight.
De La Hoya identifies Stevenson's masterful jab and exceptional distance management as the cornerstones of everything he does well. Those fundamental skills have enabled him to control elite competition while taking very little damage in return. Even with that level of respect for Stevenson, De La Hoya refuses to count out Lopez entirely. His assessment suggests that if anyone has the physical gifts and aggressive mindset to throw off Stevenson's timing, Teofimo would be that fighter.
What do you think he has to do to kind of deal with a guy like Shakur Stevenson? How would you approach a fighter like Shakur Stevenson if you were Teofimo Lopez with the attributes that
I would think Teofimo, being that technically he's a bigger fighter, bigger size, he's been at the weight class a little more, and then just maybe build into it more. I would think he would have to use that, you know, size as an advantage. But it's hard to say, because I mean, Shakur Stevenson fucking good at what he does.
Richardson Hitchens adds his voice as the current IBF super lightweight champion and delivers perhaps the most decisive prediction yet. His vision of this fight has only one possible conclusion, and he believes Stevenson functions at a tier that Lopez has never experienced. Hitchens acknowledges Teofimo's natural ability and athleticism, but argues that Stevenson's defensive excellence and superior ring intelligence present challenges that are virtually unsolvable.
Man, Shakur finna fuck Teo up. I don't know. I'm telling you, Teo better wake the fuck up. I mean, at the end of the day,
You think it's competitive though? It's close?
yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, Teo's real gifted. Shakur's real defensive, and you know, I feel like when a fighter is super defensive, it can play against you also. You know, because if you go in there trying to be really defensive, it can play against you. But Shakur's a high level boxer, and Teo ain't on Shakur level. Teo know that, and like I told Teo when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks we'll see.
When you combine all these expert viewpoints, a fascinating contrast emerges. Lopez gets characterized as explosive, dangerous, and completely unpredictable, a fighter who can flip the entire dynamic with one perfectly timed moment. Stevenson gets portrayed as methodical, composed, and constantly evolving. His style breaks down opponents mentally until they make the critical errors he's waiting to capitalize on.
Teofimo, Shakur, I think Shakur. I like Shakur stylistically, you know. Teofimo is a tough fighter as well, but it's gonna be a boring fight, honestly. It's gonna be a chess game because they're both smart fighters. They're very technical, and they're gonna be very defensive for the whole fight, you know.
The beauty of this matchup lies in how completely different these fighters are at their core. One builds his success on creating and thriving in chaotic moments, while the other dominates through precision and perfect execution. Every analyst reaches the same conclusion on one point. Both men deserve pound-for-pound consideration. And whoever wins on January 31st walks away with much more than just another victory to add to their record.
I got Shakur. I think it's gonna go all 12 rounds. Shakur is gonna outbox him, I feel like. But I wouldn't be surprised if, if it was to end earlier, But like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from Teofimo. He's a great fighter. He's where he's at now for a reason. But I'm gonna definitely have to go with Shakur on this one. I think he's just on another level.
How does he get the job done? Was it decision?
I think like I said, I'm leaning towards decision.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna outbox him beautifully. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with decision.
Do you think it'll be competitive? Tio had that athletic.
For sure.
Have more power, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe even more speed.
Nah, for sure. It ain't gonna be a walk in the park.
Yeah,
like I said, two great talented fighters. They both where they at for a reason. It's not gonna be a walk in the park, but I think when it's all said and done, Shakur will be the one with his hands raised.
The final countdown has begun, and the psychological momentum seems to be building behind Stevenson's approach. He sees this fight as his chance to justify years of dedicated preparation and disciplined training. Lopez views it as another opportunity to prove everyone wrong when they doubt what he can accomplish. When those two competing motivations collide, the result becomes impossible to predict with certainty.
Figure Ray winner type of deal. Like, that's how I look at
both athletic.
Yeah, both athletic, both sharp, both really good on their defense, both just very explosive. Like, it's one of them fights. Like, you talking about Marvin Hagler? He used to come and get you. Like, Shakur can do that. Now you don't know what he's gonna do for this fight. You don't know, but I know he's gonna do whatever he gotta do to win. So.
Who's the elite fighter out of all of them? Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, you pick Shakur for Teo, but who's the best of the best? Tank. Who do you feel is the king, the emperor of all the kings?
Shakur.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like, I've been knowing Shakur since he was like 15. We went to the Olympics together, and just to see how he. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has gotten so.
Fight night is bearing down, and Shakur Stevenson's mental preparation couldn't be clearer. He's dialed in, supremely confident, and completely focused on exploiting every single weakness he's convinced Teofimo Lopez will bring with him. January 31st represents more than just another win. It's about establishing complete superiority. Keep watching. Share your predictions, and make sure you're subscribed for continuous Fight Night analysis and breaking news.